E-cigarettes.
Health risks of e-cigarettes.
Vaping.
There's been a huge surge of high schoolers using e-cigarettes.
The local government association is calling for these disposable devices to be banned by 2024.
Vaping dates back to the ancient times when Egyptians used to inhale herbal vapors for medicinal purposes. It wasn't a problem until 2003. A Chinese pharmacist, Hon Li Honlik, invented the modern e-cigarette called vaping to quit smoking and also revolutionize the way smoking is inhaled or nicotine is inhaled.
It's a bit of a peer pressure too. It's a thing of being cool. It's a thing of, it's just like a little chargeable device which you're just carrying in your bag or your pocket. And, getting older, teens particularly from 13 to 19. So yeah, it's a bit of a peer pressure. I do feel accessibility, availability. I live close to this Phase 5 near Seaview, and there's so many vape shops, refills, nice flavors. It's very fancy. It's very, even as an adult, I'm like curious what's happening.
The global e-cigarette market was worth around $18 billion in 2022 and is expected to grow around $47 billion by 2030.
Dominant majority of adolescents are not even aware of the consequences of the vape that they're inhaling. They just believe that it's a flavorful vapor that they're inhaling. If it had not been harmful, it would have not caused nearly 3,000 cases of Diwali and nearly 70 deaths confirmed.
Pulmonary illness that is associated with vaping. In particular, there was an outbreak in the United States in 2019 that involved several thousand individuals. It can be quite serious, and there were actually many, over 50 young people who died in the 2019 to 2020 outbreak that occurred in the United States.
Many of the patients would have fever, chills, and even that generalized icky feeling. Also cough, shortness of breath, and chest pain, and even hemoptysis in some cases. Hemoptysis just being a fancy pants name for coughing up blood. And it makes sense if we're breathing something in that we could affect the lung tissue and have symptoms that would be symptomatic of a lung issue. However, up to 80% of patients with EVALI would have GI symptoms, meaning affecting the GI tract, and they would have things like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and just generalized abdominal pain.
A teen who is currently indulged in vaping was also asked that what really motivated him that he started vaping.
I was introduced to vaping by my friends through peer pressure who were before me indulged into vaping. So they were like, you should take the first puff and you would literally feel great. So I was like, okay, let's try it. I tried it like 2 to 3 days, shared the vape with them. I bought my own, and then like after 2 to 3 days I was like addicted to it, fully addicted. Like I was like, I can't live without it. After about a month after I started vaping, I cough a lot and my throat started paining unusually, and I used to get a lot of headaches especially whenever I go to study.
Experts were asked to suggest ways to control and discourage teenagers from vaping.
Counseling is very important, right? You need to counsel the person, the teenager who has started vaping, that he or she should quit it as early as possible. क्योंकि मैंने आपसे ये कहा कि ये जो बच्चे होते हैं, ये जो टीनेजर्स होते हैं, हमारे पास कराची में बहुत सारी रिसर्चेज अवेलेबल हैं. आफन यूनिवर्सिटी की एक रिसर्च अवेलेबल है जिसमें उन्होंने a long term effect देखा है. ठीक है, these kids are more prone to smoke in the future, right? So counseling is very important. ठीक है, सबसे पहली चीज़ तो ये. You have to counsel the teenagers, you have to counsel the family, you have to counsel the parents. Okay, what causes the person to start vaping? Okay, is it just a social thing? It's just a social because of the social gatherings, because of the situation they started vaping, or there is something else going on?
I feel, in all honesty, we're all humans, and whenever we have cigarettes, even as adults, when we have cigarettes or kids do vaping or any other form of any other form of substance that we'd like to put in our bodies. It's really, there is a reason for that, and the reason on the face of it is mostly anxiety, or the reasons that we identified earlier. So it's really to address that anxiety. So if we provide a platform for students to de-stress in healthier ways, definitely counseling is a thing. Come and talk to a therapist, come and talk to a counselor. Sports is a thing. Play it out, basketball it out, kick it out, sing it off, dialogue it off, journal it out. Or within the institutional canvas, this is what we could provide as support for the students to really not let them have vapes and carry vapes. Yeah, they're pricey. Go eat nice meals from that money. Don't have vapes.
Our team Breathe Clean Gen Z collaborated with Project Clear Lungs in Islamabad, uniting to raise national awareness. Our collaborative efforts involved crafting impactful posters and adorning softboards in our schools, creating visual beacons to spread the vital message about the dangers of vaping. We also distributed Say No to Vaping flyers outside our school, reaching the wider community. Apart from that, we also conducted an awareness presentation in our school guiding O-level students about the health impacts of vaping. To reach the masses, we also created an Instagram page and kept on posting insights about vaping. We also took an online survey from young teenagers asking them about what do they think about vaping. And that's how we were able to spread awareness on a huge level.